I haven't really had a lot to discuss in the Alec Baldwin Rust situation. There hasn't really been any big updates in a while. The biggest recent thing was the interview that he gave about a month or so ago, which turned out to be pretty bad for him. I don't know who was his legal representation at the time, but they should probably be told to go away over the fact that they didn't advise him not to do that. That was pretty bad for him. He says he's not going to be charged, but then the next day, the police department came out and said, oh, no, we're not ruling anybody out. So I don't quite get what's going on. Like, you would think that somebody would have been charged by now. This happened months ago, but it seems like everyone's dragging their feet, or maybe they're just trying to be thorough. I don't know. There was one big update. His cell phone, he didn't want to give it to the police, but I believe they actually got a warrant to get it. So they did go through his phone, I would believe then. But I want to shift it over to an interview Nicolas Cage did, where he basically, in some ways, calls Alec Baldwin an idiot, even though he says he's not trying to. But, I mean, this is big shade that he's throwing. Now, Nicolas Cage just did a video on him the other day, where he basically says, don't call me an actor. People don't like actors. They think of them as liars. Call me a thespian. I thought that was pretty cool. He's really mastered the art of shade throwing and not looking like an asshole. Nicolas Cage weighs in on Alec Baldwin Rust shooting. Actors need to know how to use a gun and know what the procedure is. And he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. I'm going to read you exactly what he said. But he's right. If you're going to use these things, you need to know how to use them. You need to be kind of, at least, I don't know as much as saying an expert, but you need to have some knowledge. And I'm willing to bet you $100 Alec Baldwin has never taken the time to really learn these things. They've probably just been handed to him. Think of when Keanu Reeves did John Wick. Now, if you know what I'm talking about with John Wick, he uses a lot of firearms in those movies. But before that movie came out, there was a lot of stunt work of him going through these kind of like gun training situations where he was like shooting targets, going through like a targeting range, and like he took the time to learn how to use the things. And I think that that's important. Obviously, Alec Baldwin, I'm not so sure that he's done the same thing. Though I hear he's quite the ass, by the way. Kind of a jerk and thinks he knows best. So here's what he said. Academy Award-winning actor Nicolas Cage recently weighed in on the shooting incident involving Alec Baldwin on the set of Rust, asserting that all actors need to know how to use a gun. I don't want to cast blame anywhere, but I do think, and I'm not talking about anybody, sure. he is. He's talking about Alec Baldwin, but people don't like the word movie star. Cage explained during a recent appearance on the Hollywood Reporter's Roundtables when the topic of safety on movie sets was brought up by the host and senior THR editor film Rebecca Keegan. We want to be humble actors, but a movie star is a bit of a different kind of pre-sensation, he asserted. The actor continued, you need to know how to ride a horse. You need to know how to fight. If you're going to do fight scenes, you need to know how to ride a motorcycle. You need to know how to use stick shift and drive sports cars. And you need to know how to use a gun. You do. He's absolutely right, by the way. I like what he said there. If you're going to make it real, you need to know how to do it to make it look believable. And, he's done a lot of fighting in movies. He's driven a lot of sports cars. And it all looked good when he was doing it because, well, he's taken the time to learn how to do those things. I would imagine a lot of people don't. But he continues, you need to take the time to know what the procedure is, Cage further noted, adding that said procedures are part of the job profiles, and that the stuntman and the movie star are two jobs that coexist. Before concluding his assessment, the actor reiterated every stuntman needs to be a movie star, and every movie star needs to be a stuntman. That's just part of the profile, and that's all I'm going to say about it. And that's pretty much it. And then this article goes on to talk about what happened with Mr. Baldwin and the mistakes that he's made. But I do agree with what Nicolas Cage, who has kind of been on a little bit of a redemption arc. Not that he did anything wrong in the first place, but I mean, as far as like distancing himself from typical Hollywood a-holes. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's been doing a pretty good job about that. So kind of throwing shade at Alec Baldwin a little bit, but not so nasty about it. He's like, look, man, you should have known what the hell you were doing. It's part of your job. You didn't do your job. I agree with that. I do agree with that. Alec Baldwin just took that cold gun, as it's called, or is it a hot gun? I don't remember. But he took a gun that he thought was unloaded and obviously never checked it. He just took it and was good to go. It takes 2 seconds to open it up and take a look, and he didn't do that. And someone paid for it. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, make sure to follow me over on Twitch. I do watch parties, play video games over there. They're always fun. Follow me over there and come hang out. Also, make sure you subscribe to YellowFlash, my other channel. There's a link to that in the description as well. I do a lot of live streams over there that I don't do on this channel. Usually smaller and a little bit more personal. So make sure you follow me over there and sign up.